Hello everyone, welcome back to Tartan Samurai Gaming, and today we are revisiting the original Streets of Rage for the Sega Mega Drive. Now, I previously played this quite early on in the start of this channel. I played through as Adam, who was my strongest character, but today I'm going to challenge myself to beat the game with my weakest character, which is Axel. Now, the three characters in this game each have two strengths and one glaring weakness. So in Adam's case, he was strong and he can jump very well, but he's slow. In Axel's case, he has power, he has speed, but his jump isn't that great. And then of course Blaze, she has speed and jumping ability, but her weakness is power. So Axel is going to be our guy today. There he is, Axel Stone. So let's get into this. Okay, so Axel. So as you can see, power A, speed A, but jump only B. Round one. Love the music for this game. I think I have mentioned that before. So Streets of Rage was originally intended to be Sega's answer to Final Fight, because Capcom game Final Fight was a Nintendo exclusive at the time. The Super Nintendo was the first console to get a home port of that game, and it did come to the Sega CD a few years later, but it never came to the Sega Genesis or Sega Mega Drive. To be honest, I'm not sure if the Mega Drive could have handled it, the sprites being as big as they were. You know, Streets of Rage 2 is the next best thing. I mean, I think Streets of Rage 2 is a better game than Final Fight, to be honest. Graphically, Final Fight maybe does look just a little bit brighter and bigger, but I think Streets of Rage 2 has better environments, more atmosphere to it. I actually think Streets of Rage 1 has an atmosphere that is superior to Final Fight, even if the graphics aren't quite as detailed. But you know, the Final Fight's a great game too. It's not to put down Final Fight, it's just that I was a Sega kid, so I do have an inherent bias, I think, in favour of these Sega games. So yeah, I tend to go with the Streets of Rage series over Final Fight. Now, I'll be honest, I had never actually played all the way through Final Fight until I played it for the channel a few months ago. It's one of those arcade machines. I saw it when I was a kid. Played it a couple of times, but I never beat it. Much like Streets of Rage 2, where possible here, you want to try and throw as many enemies as you can into each other to try and make a bit of space for yourself. See there, Axel's jump is basically just a flying knee, so it doesn't have much reach. Still gets the job done, but it's not ideal. Okay, boss time. Now, if possible, we want to take this boss down without using any weaponry, any special moves rather, because that will get us a point bonus, and we get an extra life for our first 50,000 points. We are 11,000 short of our first extra life, but we'll get there. Pepper spray there. There's our first extra life. General target, you want to try and get up to at least level 5 or level 6 without dropping a continue. If you can do that, then you're on pretty good course to complete the game. I mean, there's no set standard, but just know that if you get to level, you know, if you're only on level 3 or level 4 and you drop a continue, you're going to struggle to finish the game at that point, because the game does get very difficult towards the end. This is, I think, a much harder game than Streets of Rage 2. Streets of Rage 2 is a better game. It looks better, it's more fun to play, it has a greater range of moves, you know, but Streets of Rage 1 is a greater challenge. So, yeah. Guys, because you can't grab them. If you try and grab them, you'll just get chopped. So, oh, boss time. And this time it's the Freddy Krueger lookalike. The thing about this boss you'll notice is that the boss himself isn't that difficult. It's this little supporting character that gets in the way all the time that is actually the main issue you have to deal with. So where possible, try and throw them into each other. We got him, and we did it again without using our special, so that's good. We got bonus points for that. So our next extra life comes at 150,000, so we've got a little while to go yet. The baseball bat is great for just keeping enemies at arm's length. Okay, the health power up there, but we want to leave that until we finish fighting these guys, because, as you can see there, I took quite a bit of damage. Okay, moving on. Boss time. Now one of Sega's bosses of dubious copyright status, because it's clearly the Ultimate Warrior. What we do here is keep jumping and kneeing him as he runs in, and hope that your little helper doesn't get in the way. I'm going to use my special attack here because I'm in trouble. Better to use the special than to drop a life. Now one more attack to him. Yep, he's down. Not the Ultimate Warrior is out. And we move on to level 4. Again, you know, there's a simple trick to beating that boss, but it was his little subordinate was the one that got in the way. That goes right up to the end of the game, like even the last boss. There's a set strategy for beating him, but trying to do it whilst keeping his minions off your back is the most difficult part of it. I think this game is maybe balanced more towards 2 players. Because obviously 2-player mode is more fun. It just is, but there's also the fact that the bosses, yeah, you'll generally fight 2 of them if you're playing in 2-player mode, but having the extra help on screen really goes a long way. Yeah, multitasking is a big part of this game. Probably why Blaze is the best all-round character, because we all know that men can't multitask. Allegedly. Oh, another extra life. There we go, up to 6. And another 19,000 points, we will move up to 7. Careful here, the enemies won't do it, but you could accidentally step off the bottom of the stage there and fall in the pit. The enemies are smart enough to not do it, but your character could, so be careful. If you fall down a pit, that's just a life off straight away. I think we're coming up on the boss here. These knife guys can be a real pain. I'm going to take those out as a priority. Like I said, they can be a real annoyance. There we go. Now with this boss, there's a set strategy, which I'll show you. So first of all, avoid his initial flame attack. Now stand about here, and hope that we'll get this guy out of the way. can't... These minions keep getting in the way. Okay, so do this, then jump over him. And then just try and stun lock him on the edge of the screen by just tapping punch button. Couldn't quite get it there, but I should be able to get it this time. Do not try and suplex him, because if you do, he'll just crush you. So there we go, job done, and we'll get that extra life back in the point bonus at the end of the level. There we go. Quite satisfying if you can nail one of those ninjas just as he's chambering a sidekick. Okay, moving on. There we go. Ah, perfect timing. Fun in these games how often you drop a life and then like literally on the next, the next screen there's a health power up. It happens so often, particularly on the higher difficulty levels. But not this time, thankfully. Lead pipe, that'll come in handy. I prefer the baseball bat, but the lead pipe's not bad. Oh, it's not the Ultimate Warrior, back for another round. But this time he doesn't have any helpers, so it should be a bit easier. So just keep countering his charge with your jumping knee. You can just keep doing this on loop, provided you don't lose the timing. There we go. He's down. Down to go. Okay, moving on. Do with some health here. And a baseball bat. Ah dear. Oh well, not to worry. We're doing okay though. And of course, just like I said, there is a health pickup right on the next screen. Oh, these games do that with monotonous predictability. This is where we'll fight the boss in a minute, so we'll leave that health there for now until I need it. Okay, boss time. Now this is the hardest boss in the game in my opinion. Twins who both have the same attack pattern as Blaze. I'm going to use a special attack here because I will probably drop at least one life. This one is the more vulnerable one, so I'll go after her first. You notice one of them likes to jump kick, and the other one likes to kind of sneak up on you and suplex you while you're dealing with the jump kick lady. But the jump kick one is the more dangerous one, so you want to deal with her first. There we go, one down, one to go. When it's just one of them, it's pretty simple. We'll let her do her jump kick and then just kind of move back so that she lands right into your punching range. Kind of tricky timing, but once you get the hang of it, it's quite simple really. And she's down. There we go. Job done. We're almost at 250,000 to get another life back. Good. The round 6 has some crushing machines in it that we need to be aware of. Oh, there we go. Back up to 5 lives. Okay, moving on. When that flashes red, get out the way, because that means it's about to drop the crusher. So we get to fight the big guy again. But as I say, when he's on his own, it's a lot easier. flip over. Yeah, remember, do not try and suplex him. There we go. He's down. And move it on. And right there is a health pickup. So we did well there. Baseball bat time. Crusher do its thing there. There we go. Energy's a little bit low here, we could do with some assistance. Well, it's not bad I suppose, but I would rather have some energy. Well, I suppose if you're going to drop a life, getting an extra life just before you do is the best way to do it, isn't it? Anyway, not to worry. Still well ahead of schedule here. That was clumsy. You know what that means? We're pretty much at the boss now. We've just got to take out a few minions. Okay, boss time. This time it's 2 of the level 2 bosses, the Freddy Krueger lookalikes. This should just about finish one of them. Once one of them's down, the other one will be pretty straightforward. There we go, done. And we move on to round 7, the obligatory elevator lift level. fun part of this is just getting enemies and throwing them over the edge. You can one-shot pretty much every enemy in this level if you time it right. It's nice if you can time it like that so they hit the edge and sort of break their back as they're flying over as well. So I think there are 5 stages to this if I remember right. So moving on to the second stage now. And he's out of there. Moving on. Now there are no health pickups on this level unfortunately, so we will drop a life in a minute. But what we can do is use our police help to clear the decks. Not much point now. Didn't realise that I was only 1 hit away from being knocked out, and I thought I still had a couple of hits, but oh well, not to worry. Still well on course here. Looks like we're going to make it to the last level with all our continues intact, which is exactly where you want to be. Okay, just 2 more to go. There we go. Moving up to the next level. This is the last section. So once this is clear, we'll head into the hideout. Now, show you the power of police munitions there. He's able to fire that rocket right up to the top floor of this building. Quite impressive. I had an idea that was going to happen, so yeah, I thought best to be prepared. Ah, the hell, let's just do this again and get it cleared. Done. Okay, on to the final level. Now we don't get any police assistance in this level, and it's basically one big boss rush. So we're going to have to be careful. Extra life for 350,000 though. That's a good start. You notice in the background that as we progress, it's slowly, the sun is slowly rising. The idea is we've been battling through the city all night. We get to the enemy headquarters just in time for morning. I think that might be a bit of a homage to the movie The Warriors, where you had to fight, a gang had to fight their way through quite a similar set of areas, and they finally got back home to the beach at like 8 AM the following morning. Okay, job done. That's the first of the bosses down. Got a whole load more to go though. Yeah, those guys become really annoying at this point. They just start interrupting your moves all the time with a little jab. It's quite irritating. So the best way to deal with them is to get a weapon and keep them at distance as much as you can. So you can really see the sun starting to come out now in the background. Have our second boss shortly. There he is. Always try and keep him in the centre of the screen as much as you can. It's easier to read his movements that way. There we go. He's down, and on we go. So we get 3 bosses of the boss rush to go, and then the final boss. Next up is the nondescript wrestler, who just happens to look a lot like Ultimate Warrior. There he is. So remember, just keep jumping knee every time he charges in. There we go. He's down. Okay, 2 to go. Come on. There we go. Right. Okay. Big man with the fire breath. Okay. One more combo should do it. There we go. Just one boss left now, but the most difficult one, the twin blazes, or the blaze twins, or whatever you want to call them. Okay, so there's the door to the last boss, but before we can go through there, we've got to take care of the last of the sub-bosses of the boss rush. This is really difficult because also we don't have an energy bar, so we can't really judge how well we're doing. See, I'm going after the flying kicking one first because she's the more dangerous one of the two. Problem is when the other one sneaks up behind you and suplexes you while you're doing it. Okay, one down, one to go. Should be easier from here on out. Oh dear. So I dropped one life. No, can't be helped. Does take a bit of time to knock these two out, unfortunately. But I don't think she's got much left. There we go. We've still got all our continues. So there's the last boss, Mr. X. Not that one from Resident Evil, this is the original Mr. X. No. So he sends in a couple of his subordinates first of all. Okay, now the big man himself is going to get up and fight. Okay, first continue is down. That's alright. The most difficult part with Mr. X is just getting close enough to him to do any damage. Okay, he's into orange. We are getting there. This could be it. There we go, finishing with a flying knee. That's appropriate. Yep, you and your dodgy red and yellow tie can just do one, Mr. X. Game over for you, son. Okay, game clear. So yeah, that is Streets of Rage. And we still have to beat the game with Blaze on the channel, which we'll do at some point, but not for a while. That shot there becomes the opening screen of Streets of Rage 2, a depiction of the defeated Mr. X, but of course he comes back in the second one. In the third one he comes back as a cyborg. And then in Streets of Rage 4, his two kids, Miss X and Miss... was it Mr. Sorry. Miss X and Mr. Y, I think they're called. So, that's it. Our job is done. For now, anyway. Until the sequel. And then the other sequel. And then the other sequel. And then the other sequel that's currently in development. So, hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please consider subscribing to our channel, Tartan Samurai Gaming. We upload retro gaming content almost every day. Thank you all for watching. And I will see you again soon. Bye for now.